Hey guys, this is Harry Dell with another video here on Boxing Chat. As you can see in the title, you know, first of all you Floyd Mayweather fans, if you're gonna go ahead and start disliking my video before you even watch the fucking thing, I mean, go ahead. Nobody's gonna stop you. Um, I'm expecting that. And if you want to talk shit in the comments, go ahead. I don't care. What I'm saying, these are facts. I'm not making this shit up. You could look it up yourself. Do the research if you want, if you have time, if you even give a fuck. Um, so let's go ahead and start. Um, Acelino Freitas. He was a very exciting um, boxer. Coming out in the mid '90s. He's from Brazil, and he was making a lot of noise when he started off. Um, his style, is boxer puncher, but also he was very very slick, and also had a ferocious attack. Um, if he had you hurt, he was gonna finish you no matter what. His hand speed was excellent. He came at you from different angles, threw punches from different angles. Um, his defense was, you know, his defense wasn't like, an ordinary boxer. He didn't, he didn't defend himself. Like using the, side to side movements or bob and weave or ducking under punches. I mean, he did that stuff, but he did it a little different. He'll use his reflexes and his footwork to get out of situations or to avoid punches. And he was always ready to come at you back again after you're done attacking, or while you're trying to attack. He'll counter you very well. Um, he had a hell of a chin. He took shots when he did get hit. He took them and he kept going. He didn't look phased at all in the fights that I seen him in. And he was very good at cutting off the ring and also using the ring to his advantage. Um, so if a fighter was a mover or very slick, he'll cut you off. And if you were a pressure fighter, he will use the entire ring to his advantage. And if you didn't know how to cut it off, then you were pretty much going to lose. He had power in both hands also. Both hands he had power. Not just the right, not just the left. He had power in both hands. And, his counterpunching ability was excellent, some of the punches you didn't see coming. But let's go ahead and move on to the comparison side by side with Acelino Freitas and Floyd Mayweather. All right, as you can see here, I got everything right here, so you can use it yourself. So if you miss anything, you can just look at the screen. Let's start off from the very top. Acelino Freitas. He was the WBO and WBA 130-pound champion, super featherweight champion, however you want to call it. Floyd Mayweather, the WBC 130-pound champion. Acelino Freitas was a champ 1999 to 2003 as the WBO champ, and then 2002 to 2003 as still the WBO champ, but this time unified with the WBA. And Floyd was champ from 1998 till 2001. Okay, title defenses. Freitas had 10 title defenses, which he was 10-0 with 7 knockouts. Mayweather had 8 title defenses, and he was 8-0 with 5 knockouts. So, very similar. Very similar numbers, very close. Let's move on to the next stats. As you can see, when people say, well, if he defended titles, and this goes for either one of these guys, if they defended their titles, I mean, who did they defend it against? Some bums, some nobodies. Well, what I have here is the combined number of wins, losses, and the win ratio of the opponents combined. And here you go for the first one. Opponents wins that Freitas faced. Their combined wins are 283 with 26 losses, and that equals to a 91% win ratio. So this guy defended titles against no, not fucking laundromat workers or motherfuckers they just picked off the street. Um, he fought guys that were very good. Let's move over to Mayweather. Opponent wins. The totals is 277 wins, losses 17, which equals to a 94% win ratio. So you can see when you look at the numbers side by side, very, very similar. Very similar. Okay. Now, move on to the next stats. Um, Now, throughout while they were champions, sometimes they had exhibition matches where their titles were not on the line, and this goes for both Freitas and Mayweather. Um, so these are the numbers, you know, combined with the numbers I already told you. These are with including exhibitions. So the total wins, um, including the exhibitions, is 390 and 45 losses. For Mayweather, 299 wins, 33 losses. Now for Freitas, the opponent's win ratio, 89%. Still really high. For Mayweather, their opponent's win ratio, 90%. Okay, very close. If you haven't noticed, I mean, look, these guys side by side, they're very similar. You know, so I mean, neither one of these guys were fighting bums. That's for sure. Let's move on to notable wins. Notable win for Freitas was against Joel Casamayor, who was 26-0 with 14 knockouts at the time when he stepped in the ring against him. And that fight was to unify the WBO and the WBA titles. Of course, Joel Casamayor was the WBA champ. Let's go ahead and move on to Mayweather's side. His notable win, Diego Corrales, 33-0 with 27 knockouts at the time. And that fight was, to defend his WBC title. Mayweather was defending his title. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Of course, we can't forget, who they beat to get the title. And Freitas, his win to capture the title was Anatoly Alexandrov, 35-4 with 14 knockouts. And Floyd Mayweather, to become champion, he beat Genaro Hernandez, 38-1-1 with 17 knockouts. For anybody that wants to make comparisons with, oh well, he beat Hernandez. Hernandez was, he was a man at 130 and all this and this and that. And who's this Anatoly? All you casual fans, just because you haven't heard of the damn fighter, doesn't mean they're fucking shit or they're bums. You need to really do your research, because oh well, look, Alexandrov has 4 losses and Gennaro only has one. You can't. You can't base things on that kind of stuff. That's just stupid. And whoever's actually looking up, all this stuff on Google and all that stuff, or BoxRec, you'll notice that, oh well, Freitas lost to Corrales. Yes, he lost to Corrales in 2004 at lightweight. This is just featherweight. At lightweight is different. And also, what are you gonna discredit him just because of that? Because Genaro Hernandez, who was the champ, lost a couple years before to none other than Oscar De La Hoya. So, Oscar De La Hoya beat Genaro Hernandez. So Floyd Mayweather's win over Hernandez is discredited also. It does, because that fight, Hernandez versus De La Hoya, was at 135. Okay, what we're talking about, 130 featherweight. Um, so let me just make that clear. Also, Casamayor beat Diego Corrales too. I mean, see, I mean, you can't base things on that kind of stuff. Like, this guy beat this guy, so I'm better than that guy, and he's better than that guy, and all this bullshit. No, boxing does not work that way. All right, moving on. Just a extra little note here. Record before moving up to lightweight. Because Asimino Freitas, eventually moved up to lightweight, and captured the WBO title 2 times. But his record, before he moved up, was 34-0 with 31 knockouts, including 29 straight KOs, 29 straight wins by knockout. Um, and Floyd Mayweather, his record was before he moved up to lightweight, was 27-0 with 20 knockouts. So both of these guys, very similar in a lot of these stats. Um, you guys be the judge. I mean, um, Mayweather, after he defeated Corrales, he said he wanted the winner of Casamayor and Freitas because they were fighting. Their fight was coming up. But what happened? Just because you call out all these guys, and that doesn't mean that you know. I mean, look, for all you casual fans. Oh well, he called them out, so the other guy must have been scared. That means shit. Okay. Calling out someone means dick. If you don't fight him, then what's the point of calling him out? All right, that's bullshit. Um, and that fight never happened. Um, not. I mean, you gotta see it like this too. Yes, I'm doing a video of Asilino Freitas because their numbers are very similar, and they were champions for well, Freitas was champion for a lot longer, well, a little longer, but during the same time period. You understand? Um, because you can't forget that Casamayor was another guy that was was feared at 130. And people were questioning Floyd. Well, why didn't he fight Casamayor? But people tend to forget about Marcelino Freitas, um, the man who beat Casamayor and was the unified champ at 130. Well, hey, to be the best ever, it doesn't only take great skill. You know, you gotta make things happen. Great accomplishments, along with great skill. You know, those are the those are the fighters that we remember. You know, those are the fighters that we always will remember through the ages, and those will be the greatest of all time. Let me remind you guys, um, I am not bashing Mayweather's skill, not his skill set. Nothing. I'm not. I don't care about what he does outside of the ring. I'm just talking about fighters that he could have faced. He could have fought. Win or lose, draw, it doesn't matter. If you fight the best, you're going to be recognized as a motherfucker that took all names, no matter what. Um, and these are question marks in Mayweather's career. You know, Mayweather defended it against a lot of guys that never got another world title shot or never became champions. Um, and then he also immediately he moved up a lot in weight. After 130 was his longest stay. Well, now it's welterweight, but he's taken a lot of years off, on and off. He's retired twice, and he's taken a lot of breaks. But But you know, there's still question marks. If he would have done, you know, you know, if he would have faced, the other titleists at 130 and beaten them all, then there's no argument. Despite him not even being at that weight class anymore, but there was uh, there was a lot of questions flying around. Well, Floyd, why did you move up? You know, because he said he couldn't make 130, but in his next fight, against Jose Luis Castillo at 135, you know, the night of the fight, he weighed 138 pounds. You know, only 8 pounds over the 130 limit. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could still make the weight because look, and for all you Floyd Mayweather fans and say, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. How do you know that he really couldn't make 130? Well, I know one thing is for sure. Floyd Senior has said before that Floyd is really a 140 pounder. Well, okay, but he's been fighting at 47 and 54. So if really a 140 pounder, then he's smaller than than we think, because he can actually make the weight, because he stays at 150. He doesn't go any higher than that. And for his father to say he's 140, he's really a 140 pounder. So when he was a 140 pounder, he was really a 135 pounder. When he was a 135 pounder, he was really a 130 pounder. So I don't know. He said it. You can look it up on YouTube. Floyd Mayweather Sr. said that he's really a 140 pounder because he was asked if he would move to middleweight to face Martinez, Golovkin, those guys, and and Floyd Sr. gave that response. But anyways, that's the end for part one. This is just 130 pound. Tomorrow I would do another video on fighters he did not face at 135 pounds at lightweight. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe below to get more videos. Thanks guys for tuning in, and until next time, see you later.